Hey guys, we're Sonance here, back in our video. So in this video, we're gonna make a drop like the melodic techno duo Artbat. So the final result will sound like this. So the remix returned to us completely blew up. We're gonna make a track in that style today. So as you can hear, the ingredients of the track are an obnoxious lead, arp sound, a really rhythmic bass, a minimal build up, and techno drums. So we'll be covering all that in the videos. Besides that, we'll be using the new pack motion for it. Got preset drums, vocals, all the stuff you need to make this kind of style of music. So if you want to know more about it, it's linked down below. So without further ado, let's straight dive into the lead sound. So let's start off with the lead sound. We'll be using a preset from the pack for it. We're gonna break it down as well. So got a new Serum open up. We'll be using the Artbat Lead, sounding like this. So it's basically two analog saw wave tables, detuned with a fine tune, and with a unison. So without all the effects, it sounds like this, just like a normal saw wave. So then I added an OTT to it. Some diode distortion with a pre-filter, which is opening up with LFO1. Which is just a random wave table just to give it sound some more randomness every time a note is hitting. As you can see, it got a different starting point every time. There's a chorus effect. Cut the lows, filter it, and reverb and delay. Sounding like this. So now we're gonna make a melody with it. It's gonna be quite a simple melody. We're working in F minor, so let's start on the F. Then we're gonna go up to the G and G sharp. We're gonna bump it up an octave. Then back to the F. And back to the G sharp, sounding like this. That will be the first part of the melody. Then we're gonna make a second part. Again, starting on the F. Then going up an octave. Back to the G. And ending on the F. Altogether sounding like this. So now we're gonna mix it. First I added this OTT compression. Then some come across distortion, which really makes a difference in the sound. It really opens it up. Then I made sure to get rid of the low end. And of course some reverb and delay. And the sidechain. And that's it for the lead sound. So now we're gonna dive into the bass sound. So now we're gonna dive into the bass sound. We'll be using two layers. First one gonna be a really low one. Second one gonna be a top bass. So first gonna dive into the sub bass. We're gonna use the risky bass, this one. Quite a thick sub bass. So let's make a rhythm with it. It's all gonna be on the F, so this will be the main rhythm. Now we're gonna mix it. So first I added some distortion. Then some compression to catch the peaks of the bass sounds. We don't want to have it too dynamic. Then I made it mono. Then I added this R bass because I thought the sub was lacking a little bit of power, so I boosted it around 48, sounding like this. So without. And with it, it really picks up the sub end, so game changer for me. And of course the sidechain. So now it's lacking a little bit of high end, so we're gonna layer it with a top sound. So let's add a new Serum. We'll be using this one. It's again just a saw bass. So now we're gonna mix it, of course, get rid of the low end. Then some distortion. And again, just remove the low end. That came with the harmonics of the distortion. And a sidechain. together sounding like this. So now we're gonna add in the drums. Just gonna be a kick, head, and shaker loop. It's quite simple, but it really does the job. So first I'm gonna start off with a kick drum. We'll be using click 17 from the pack, sounding like this. So just make a normal rhythm with it. With the kick, it sounds like this. Really solid. So now we're gonna add a shaker loop to it. Although we're gonna make it ourselves, we got a shaker from the pack. Then just fill each step. Go to piano roll, press Alt L to articulate the notes. Then duplicate it. Alt R to randomize the velocity. And Alt Q to quantize it. Sounding like this. It's quite stiff, so we're gonna sidechain it and add a reverb to it. So first a reverb and a sidechain. So now we're gonna add an open head to it. Just a simple sample, just add it in it after your offbeat. And then to finish it off, I added this right loop to it as well, just to fill it up some more. Altogether sounding like this, which is dope, but it's lacking something, so we're gonna mix it on the bass channel. So first we're gonna compress it with this fair comp. It's a really dope compressor, it's free actually, so we just advise you to check it out. Just drag back the threshold to around -6 dB of reduction. So as you can hear, the kick is lacking some low end right now, so I boosted it with a Saturn saturation. Just boosting the lows. And open up the highs. All together sounding like this. So with the bass, it sounds like this. So I've got the leads ready, the bass ready, the drums ready, so now it's time to dive into the arp sound. So let's add a new Serum. And use a plug sound from that pack. So this one is a detuned saw plug. So now we're gonna dive into songwriting. We're gonna use the same notes as the lead sound, so it will be an F, a G sharp, and a G. So let's start off on the F. Then go up to the G sharp, back to the F, and back to the G, sounding like this. And then we're gonna finish it at the 5th and 6th notes, sounding like this. So duplicate it till it's 4 bars. And make a little variation at the last one. It's gonna be a D sharp. So back to the 7th of the scale, sounding like this. So then we're gonna automate a washout macro in the build up and drops. So that's it for the arp sound. It's quite a simple one, but it really fills it up. So it's a little bit of movement in the track. So we got the main elements ready. Now it's time to really build a track. So first we're gonna make the riser synth in the build up. As you can hear in the original track, there's a building synth going on. So we're gonna mimic that just with a preset that came from Serum. We're gonna use this one as fundamental, but then we're gonna turn it into saw waves. So just like this. You can hear it really builds up for 8 bars. So just play a steady note, sounding like this. Of course, gonna add a lead in to the build up as well. And the arp sounds. We already got the automation of the washout, so besides that, I automated the sidechain as well. Sounding like this. Which is quite dope, but it really misses something, so we're gonna add in some effects and snare risers. So I just added in these effects from the pack. Well, this one's not from the pack, but it's just a simple string sounds. So this impact downlifter, uplifter, raiser, and snare build, which is filtered with automation. And that's it for all the elements. So we got the track ready. We got the notches lead, the arp, the bass, all that stuff. So I think we're ready for the final result. It turned out really dope. I think it's quite similar to their style. So if you like the video, please leave a like. See more, hit the subscribe button. And I'll see y'all in the next videos.